In a small apartment in New Jersey, there was a wall clock that always showed for 17 p.m. The batteries were long dead. The glass was cracked, but Emily Parker never fixed it. She didn't want to, because that was the exact time her life changed forever. 3 years ago, at exactly 4:17 p.m., Emily received the call that her younger brother Noah had been in a terrible accident. He didn't make it. From that day on, time itself felt meaningless. It was like the world kept turning, but her own personal universe had ground to a halt. Emily stopped chasing her dreams. She stopped painting, which used to be her greatest passion. She stopped believing in a later, a someday, or a one day. Her life became a monotonous cycle of work, eat, sleep, and nothing more. She was just existing, not living. Friends would visit and gently ask her, "Emily, why don't you just change the clock, get a new one?" And her reply was always the same, quiet but firm. That's when everything stopped. It was her monument to grief, a constant, silent reminder of the moment her world fell apart. She thought that by freezing time on her wall, she could somehow keep the memory of Noah perfectly preserved, untouched by the days that kept passing without him. One rainy afternoon, the power suddenly went out. The apartment plunged into a dim, gray silence. Emily sat on her couch, watching the rain streak down the window pane, and then she heard it. A faint, almost impossible sound. Tick. A single solitary tick. She held her breath. Then again, tick. It was coming from the broken clock. Confused, she stood up and walked closer. The second hand, which hadn't moved in 3 years, began to move. It wasn't smooth. It was a slow, agonizing drag forward. 4:18, then 4:19. A knot of panic tightened in Emily's chest. She whispered to the empty room, "No, stop, please, just stop." But the clock didn't listen. It kept ticking, stubbornly, defiantly pushing time forward. Just then her phone buzzed, vibrating against the wooden table. She glanced down. It was a calendar reminder she had forgotten to cancel years ago. It read, "Local art class with Noah." They had signed up together, excited for a new project. A wave of emotion hit her so hard she almost buckled. But on a sudden, unexplainable impulse, she grabbed her keys and went. The art studio was warm and smelled of turpentine and fresh paint. It was full of strangers, each person holding a brush, each face carrying a story no one else could see. Emily picked up a brush, her hand trembling slightly, and for the first time in 3 long years, she painted. She let the colors flow, mixing memories with tears, and she cried. She cried deeply, but it wasn't the familiar sting of pain. It was a cry of release, of letting go of a tension she didn't even know she was holding. That night, Emily came home to her quiet apartment. She walked straight to the clock, took it off the wall, and with steady hands, she replaced the batteries. She set it to the correct time and hung it back up. Its gentle ticking now filled the silence, not as a countdown to loss, but as a steady rhythm of life. In that moment, she realized something powerful. Time had never actually stopped. She didn't need to freeze a moment in the past to honor her brother. She could honor him by living again, by painting again, by finding joy in the world again, because she finally understood that moving forward doesn't mean letting go of the people we've lost. It means carrying their love with us, into every new minute, every new hour, and every new day. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing for more content like this. And remember, it's okay to not be okay, but it's also okay to start living again.